Great Mother speaks.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana.
Hello, Virgo Moon people. Welcome to your October New Moon reading. Welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if it is your second. We're just getting this party going with Great Mother speaking to us through our thoughts, emotions, reactions. That is our moon sign. So if you don't know what that is, just go to the link below and click either the Western. Most of us in the Western world, of course, we go according to our Western sign where sun rules all. And so you probably know your sun sign, what sign the sun was in when you were born, but you probably don't know your moon sign. And that's what we're focusing on because Great Mother is lunar energy. If you are empathic, highly sensitive, or a very intuitive person, you might want to check out your Vedic moon sign. Vedic signs are ruled by the rising sign, which is where the sun was on the horizon where you were born and when you were born. More details about that if you click that link below. Now, this month, new moon is the first one after that very powerful harvest full moon we had 2 weeks ago. You might want to go and listen to that October full moon reading for your moon sign because that energy is still resonating and will be resonating for the next about 4 to 5 months. It's kind of in tandem with what has happened since the eclipse at the end of August. And so all of this is culminated into this new moon season as we're going into the winter darkening months. And so, of course, this is the dark moon, which is the moon of seeding. This is an internal seeding process. Even when you're planting during the planting season, which those of our cousins in the southern hemisphere are doing now in the spring season, these are for plants that will actually be root plants, tubers, beans that grow underground, nuts that grow underground, those kinds of things, because it's the dark moon, and it's an internal process. That process in which we're going toward the dark in the northern hemisphere after this full moon is the beginning of the lunar phase that we're looking at our inner lives more closely. We celebrate the Day of the Dead at the end of this month, and that has everything to do with going into the darkness past that veil and the veil of the mask that we wear in this lifetime, that ego veil, that sun in the Western astrology, and in the Vedic astrology it would be the rising, that veil of who we present ourselves to be, or just the apparatus that the soul dons this lifetime. Okay, Scorpio moon people, what is Great Mother coming through and speaking to you? She's saying that in your present position, where you are right now emotionally, how you're reacting to life, circumstances, relationships, emotionally you're in a place of being reborn. You are very certain of that. You've had a journey and you're coming home to yourself. You are really, really expressing who you are fully, as fully as you possibly can, as you know how to do. It's just that the people around you, you're not sure whether or not they are quick on the uptake with you with regard to what you're expressing and what you're living and what you're sharing with them. They don't quite seem to be on the same page as loving as they are. In fact, there may be some people that you know have been with you along this journey and they know what you've been through, and from your perspective they should completely understand, and they do. They just aren't expressing it to you in a way that you might expect. Okay, that's all. She's saying that
this is phenomenal. You are transforming. You are the quintessential scorpion that's emerging into the eagle, and so this transformation that's occurring right now in your life is happening because you have taken your power back. You've done it. You were not where you wanted to be for a very long time. You wanted to express yourself. You were trying to do that, but things just weren't lining up. It just wasn't lining up, and it was very frustrating emotionally, but you're there. You've arrived, and it's just a wonderful place to be. We have the full moon here with Brigitte in full illumination, taking the broom and heading back to Emerald City to cash it in for your trip home. You are more than halfway there and fully expressing yourself. What Great Mother does not want you to overlook in this process, Scorpio moon people, is that you have done all that you can do at this particular point. There may be a lot more that you want to do or that other people may be expecting of you, but you're good. You're better than good. You have responded to your intuitive voice. And of course, that is that premonition, that still small voice of the Holy Spirit, which is Great Mother energy. And you have found yourself to be approved and approving of yourself, because the integrity is when we tell ourselves the truth. And so this is here right under this full moon illumination of your throat chakra. And this is prompting me to encourage you to watch the full moon reading for Scorpio moon that was just 2 weeks ago, and to see where you are with that. If you're in the Western astrology right now with the new moon, you're looking at the Libra scales, the challenge in staying balanced in that equilibrium from people pleasing to that integrity. And if you are Vedic, the Jyotish astrology, you're more soul oriented, empathic, or sensitive, you are in the Virgo new moon. And so that fastidious, scrutinizing perfection of Virgo right now, as well as self-care and day-to-day challenges, you're right there, Virgo moon people, with regard to telling yourself the truth and being in alignment with that eternal grace and mercy that allows you to express that in loving ways. We see the heart chakra here in the balsamic moon, which is, of course, right before the new moon. Beautiful. The shadow side of this, these are the shadow cards underneath it. Of course, our shadow is what Great Mother casts, and she casts her shadow through the moon phases and through the moon signs. So our dreams, as well as waking and sleeping premonitions and intuition, give us a look into what we do not see during the day or in the light or in the rational world. The shadow that's cast in our lives, however, have to do with what's uncomfortable, inconvenient, or perhaps unflattering, right? That we don't want other people to see or to know about us. And so Scorpions, with that energy, sometimes emotionally, we can really hold on to things until we are at this place where you are now, being able to fully express yourself in a way that is in alignment with who you are. The shadow that Great Mother wants you to pay attention to is how important it is as you do that to remain in self-compassion. Remember the eternal grace and mercy card that is right horizontally here to Kuan Yin, self-compassion. There are people around you who do appreciate you and what you've been through and have been on the journey with you. And although they may not be expressing that knowledge and that awareness in a way that you would expect them to, they do support you. And what's more important is that you support and respect yourself. And that may not be something that you want other people to know, that that's something that you're struggling with. But Great Mother wants you to know that it's very important that you open up to this journey to self-compassion, self-love, appreciating how far you've come to get to this point. You've come a very long way. And that's why in the beginning, I was kind of, slowly getting into the reading with this rebirth and rejuvenation with your divine expression, because that is such a heavy energy. It takes a lot of effort to do it. And sure enough, that is where you are in this transformative process, is having done that. So recognize that within and of yourself for yourself, because what you're dancing with is the Sheila Nagig energy, the crone with the open vulva and the sacred places of the Gaelic lands. Opening. We always talk about the heart chakra opening, and that's a beautiful thing when we can allow our power to come through in that way. It's also the exact same process as the heart breaking. The heart breaks in order to open. And so there is some residual heartbreak that is holding up energy, taking up energy around you and within you with regard to the journey that you've just taken. And what Great Mother wants you to do is she wants you to release that energy. It's done. You can let it go. There's no need to hold on to it, Scorpio moon people. You've worked through it, and so there's no need to work through it again and dig through it again and dig through it again. You're evolving right now. You're at the place of flying. So, you're not even going back and forth into the emotional waters anymore unless you hold on to this heart energy in heartbreak. Okay. And so to release it, self-inquiry is called for. And that, of course, as we know with the work of beautiful Byron Katie, is to question any judgment, thought, or idea that causes us pain, discomfort, or feelings of unworthiness. So any thought that you have that comes to you about how you may have handled your journey, we don't know until we know. We don't know until we know, until we've gone through something. We there could have been a better way to do it. And we know now, moving forward, and that's the point. So if an idea comes to you about that, if it's not loving, ask it, is it true? Is it true that I could have done this? Is it true that I'm really not doing my best? Is it true that I'm not considering the needs of others and being compassionate to their perspective of my journey? Everybody's going through a journey right now, and so everybody's growing. And so how we're communicating is changing rapidly, isn't it? On a daily basis. And so we want to be open and compassionate with ourselves in order to be compassionate with others. And so how do we do that? Great Mother is saying with this Earth Father energy, we hear so much about Earth Mother, don't we? And especially with Great Mother Speaks, we do have Adi Shakti here as the primordial mother, but we also have Pachamama in the deck that is not in your spread. But in the Eastern world, there are Earth Fathers in Asian cultures. I know ancient Egyptian culture has the god Geb, and Earth Father energy is all about expressing that yang energy that you have with no apologies. And so release those broken-hearted ideas, thoughts, and beliefs that no longer serve you, Scorpio moon people, by calling them into question. And that way you'll be able to embody the self-confidence that you need to move forward with your expression, to move forward with all of the emotional strength that you've gained, to have the self-esteem to truly be who you resonate with within in a loving way towards yourself and others. That's Rihanna. We turn self-doubt into self-questioning in order to move through those things that we don't have confidence in. And so at the beginning of our selfhood expression of taking the broom back, at first Dorothy was questioning, after the witch died, should I take the broom? And then, all of her friends around her, which represented different aspects of herself, her brain, her heart, her courage. Yeah, take it. That's what we came here for. So yeah, Scorpio moon people, take it. Take that power. You got it right there. Just grab it in your hands. It's yours to use with love, with compassion, with nurturing, with creativity, with fun and joy and enlightenment, and all of those things that you came here to have the human experience for. Absolutely. The outcome of all this is purification. You've been purified from the scorpion to the dove
And now the ego. Fly like an eagle, Scorpio moon people, into the future. Remember, as always, Great Mother loves you, and I do too.
Great Mother speaks.
I am Great Mother, Holy Spirit, Yin, Divine Mother, Cosmic Womb, Deep Space, the Moon, Dark Matter, the Void, the Black Hole, Hathor, Isis, Diana.